Hello there, I am joined by Per Jaldung, the Chair European Casino Association Officer. How are you doing?
Good, thank you very much.
Great to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Is this your first time in the ICE 365 studio?
This is the first time in the 365 studio, absolutely. But it's not my first time at ICE. I have been here since, I think, 2005. Every year, besides the pandemic years.
Yeah, great. So what sort of trends do you see in the European land-based sector?
Well, there are a lot of different parallel trends going on at the same time. I would say, I'd like to point out the digitalization of the land-based casino offer, not only when it comes to payment solutions and identification solutions and so on, but also in the actual, games, how it's connecting more and more to the online. 62% of our members in the European Casino Association also have an online offer. And to be able to offer our customers both online and service also in the land-based environment is really great. And sometimes you could also find ways where the business connects. You could build up, for example, a jackpot both online or in the land-based. You can have poker tournaments live and online and so on. So I think this digital trends really will just keep moving faster and faster. And it's also a good thing when it comes to our hard work against problem gambling and money laundering. The digital tools can make it a lot easier for our industry.
Now, you've been to many ICE shows before. What has impressed you on the show floor this year?
Well, this year is probably the most people I have ever seen at the ICE show. There must have been a built-up demand for this. Somebody told me that it was almost 30,000 people here yesterday, like 28,000 something, in one day. And I could really tell leaving this place because there were so many people leaving at the same time. But I think the greatest thing about it is this new Elizabeth line, because now you can actually get around the city. And those long trains moved us all really quickly into the city and to the casinos in there and the restaurants. And that made the whole, actually, I think it make the experience of ICE so much better when transportation is not such a big issue. But also, I think that the stands look amazing. Some of the stands are just amazing. I mean, I would like to have some of these things in my own casino. So it's great. Some suppliers have downscaled a bit, I've noticed. That used to have much bigger booths. Maybe they will be back big and swinging next year. But also you see some newcomers that have built really nice stands, some new names.
And now that you're coming to the end of your tenure at the European Casino Association, what's next for you?
Yeah, thank you. I have been 20 years in the gaming industry. More than 20 years, and 8 years as the chairman of the European Casino Association. And actually, I stepped down yesterday. So now I'm honored to be the honorary president of the association. But Mr. Erwin van Lambart is the new chairman. He's the head of the Casinos Austria. He will do an amazing job, I'm sure, because our association is really taking big steps forward and is becoming a really strong voice in Europe when it comes to gambling. And I, now leaving, I hope to be able to support the industry as an independent. I don't think I will be hired, but I think I would like to work more on supervisory boards, special projects, and support management boards in the industry. That's what I hope to do.
And what words of advice did you give Erwin as he took over your position?
I tell you, the European Casino Association, with 29 countries and almost 1,000 casinos, there are a lot of different drives. There are a lot of different structures in these companies. Some are government-owned, some are private, some are huge with 100 casinos, some are really small with one small casino. There are some integrated casino resorts. There's online, there's offline. To find the common ground where we can work together, like the fight against illegal gambling that's going on, especially online, is a priority for the association. but also to promote the industry and show all the good things that we do for our communities, and also fighting different types of crime and the money laundering, and also preventing people from being harmed by our products. Very important things to get together around. And yeah, so it's a big job to be done, and I think it's a little bit like the United Nations of gambling. And to get everybody together, be patient, listen to all voices, everybody in our industry, no matter where you come from. When you're working in a casino, you have a perspective that could be valuable for other countries. So respect the smaller countries, listen to the big ones as well, and just try to be the head of the United Nations of gambling in Europe. It's not so easy, but it's really rewarding because it's a fantastic industry to be in, with so much expertise and so much experience, and it's in the fun industry. It's in the supporting tourism and entertaining people in all of our countries. It's a great honor, and I'm happy to have done it, and I wish Irvin the best.
Oh, lovely words there. What would you say are your greatest achievements? What are you most proud of?
It's hard to point out a single thing, but to keep the membership, grow the membership. Also, I think that we really played an important role during the pandemic to support our members, sharing best practice of how to survive really when our premises were closed. And when we had tens and tens of thousands of employees at home, and people were getting sick, and everything stopped. And in times like this, the trade association really played a great role. We were working with team meetings across Europe and roundtable discussions how to handle the situation. So that was something that I think we did really well. But it's probably up to others more to say what I did good and not. But I think the association has grown. We're getting more and more professional per year. I think we're a stronger name now than ever, and it's going to continue to grow.
And what do you think the biggest challenge facing the European casino market is in 2023?
Well, I think a big threat is always illegal gambling, because it makes people's opinions about our industry. We don't come out good when you look at how the illegal operators are operating. All the good work that the licensed, regulated market is doing to prevent harm and prevent money laundering and so on, it really is to no avail when you have illegals not respecting these things, and that's what people see. And they can read about it in the newspaper. So I think that the national regulators, the national law enforcement, and the national lawmakers really need to stop illegal gambling and to put an end to that, because it's good for everyone. And it also gives community the tax revenues that they deserve, not just taking out of the market, but also putting back in. So that is probably one of our biggest challenges. And one more thing, the regulators and the lawmakers, they can regulate and keep control of the legal market, but they have to watch it so it doesn't become toxic and overdo it. And so we get an over-regulated market that makes the legal suppliers of gambling make that environment too difficult. It has to be reasonable, it has to be balanced, but it of course has to serve the purpose. Safe gambling, prevent harm, and be within in the framework that the public expect us to deliver these services. Because can't forget my last words in this interview: gambling is fun, and that's why a lot of people go to the casinos, to be entertained, to watch a show, eat great food, and have fun playing our table games and our machines and so on. Some people get a problem because it's too much fun for them to handle, and that has to be controlled. But in essence, this is a fun industry.
Brilliant. Thank you, Per, for coming in to see us, and good luck with your departure from ECA.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So, next up, we'll take a look back at this year's ICE.